This is the Red Earth Opal Mine at White Cliffs in the far west of New South Wales, a town where novice fossickers can search among the mullock heap for opals, or see how the professionals do it in a real opal mine.
Look, there's a few things going on. We've got some nice refurbishments on some businesses. We've still got a little bit of a and with more to come. We've got some good little operations for people to come and have a look at down the opal mine tour, where people can actually come and see a working producing opal mine. So you can see, how shallow all them little tunnels just off to the sides. That's just all old workings. That will actually just give you a bit of an idea what you got your car parked on over there in the car park, what it was you were driving over when you come over here. It is honeycomb just literally beneath the surface. So, but as I was digging in here, I had to get my door to swing in off the track, and you'll see actually I've got this little vertical seam. Just the last gouge of the jackhammer exposed this little vertical, so I've just snipped down that with the pliers just to make it a bit easier for people to see. So I have only just found that, so I don't know if that's actually just going to run out or if it's going to go another 6 foot or more through the ground. Given the fact it is actually just running into the bottom of the pillar there behind me, this is the sort of areas you're more likely to dig on your way out rather than your way in, you know. So
particularly if you want to keep the door open.
well, pretty much. And I mean, given that it is dug out just there, and then down there, that's the ceiling of the next level underneath.
So that you're still actually hitting some pretty good stuff here.
Absolutely, you know, it is still. I liken the place to a giant treasure chest, just mixed up with a bit of dirt. So you've just got to dig amongst it. There's still plenty to be found.
And plenty for fossickers as well, or just more for the professional miners?
Look, White Cliffs is one of the, it is the single place where you can actually come and freely fossick all over the historic opal digging. So where it was first founded in 1889, back in the day, they could not sell their blues and low-grade green opal. They threw that away amongst the material that they lost under candlelight while they were working. So I have seen stones come into our little shop of $1,000 to $20,000 that visitors have actually picked up out there on the field. So in amongst a lot of fossils and other bits and pieces. So there is some gems to be found for everybody. It is an area that you can actually come and freely sieve dirt around some of the old mines. You can turn over the whole paddock and nobody can actually stop you if you're not on anybody's registered claim. It is here for the fossickers. This is actually what makes my life really easy down here, is this little diesel loader. So obviously on the front of it is a bucket that I use for getting the dirt out. So the whole ramp that we actually just walk down is actually dug for ventilation and access for this particular machine. So you can feel there's a bit of breeze moving through here. When I'm working, then I'll actually shut the plastic doors, turn on some big fans in the roof and just turn this into a big wind tunnel. And the piece of dirt that I'm looking at is sort of right there where the tip of the teeth are, up to that piece up there. So that's where I'm likely to find me pineapple. Is just in there somewhere. Just chew this off the bottom. So basically what I do is I just do a bit of an overcut over the top of my level. So I'm only digging in the silt, that's why it just looks a bit soft. You don't have to worry too much about it.
I'm wishing to find something, by the way.
Oh, me too, don't worry. I'm not here digging holes, I'm here looking for opal, you know, like this is in the search for opal, so.
Do you think White Cliffs has been overlooked to a certain extent in terms of being, well, it was probably the first opal area in Australia, but other places seem to get more of a reputation?
Look, it's forgotten. It's which is wonderful. It's just one of those little untouched oysters, then, you know. And where Lightning Ridge and Cooper Pedy did have their large booms, their opal booms. Ours was back in the 1890s, so today it's a very small little population, dedicated people, very friendly and happy people. It's a really nice little fraternity of miners and hobby miners, pensioners, retirees that come and have a bit of a go. There's only a couple of us that are actual commercial operators, so it is still very personal.
So you're mining still?
Yes, very actively, yes.
And pulling a lot of good stuff out?
Sometimes.
A lottery.
Look, it's still a lot of hard work, you know. I just know that if you work it with the right equipment, then you'll find opal. It's not if you'll find opal, it's just when. Far back as 1896, one had a monetary value of £150 marked up there on the ceiling as well. So I think they call all of that carbon dating.
Yeah, I like that.
Little bit through there, that's the bottom of my level. Any pineapple. You hear that? You hear that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was nothing.
Oh, was it? Well, I heard it.
What attracted you to this in the first place? What's your background?
We actually first started here back in '73. Dad was a hobby miner, so we would come here my whole school life as hobby miners, and pretty much straight out of school I bought my block that I have here today, which we've built like a huge underground home, a lot of opal all through it. That's where the bug really bit me, and later we built the shop out the front, and now I just continue to dig all over the field. So, you know, it's been something that I've done all my life. I've lived here probably 27 years permanent.
Don't hurry though. Yeah. You've done well.
After more than an hour underground, this group of visitors emerges into the afternoon light, and Graeme prepares for another night, patiently digging for colour. This is David Jones reporting from White Cliffs.